Hello everyone, Jeff here for Respawn Studios with an in-depth tips and tutorial guide for newer players at Fortnite. Now I'm going to be going through a lot of different sections of this video. The first one will focus on landings, the second one on combat, the third on building, the fourth will be putting it all together and showing a gameplay. My first little tip here is actually done in the menu. If you bought any of the featured skins, for example this Nutcracker one, it's a lot taller than the others. So if you want to hide, and a lot of players, especially new players, if they want top placings, hide in bushes. If you try and do that with some of the event skins, you're going to stick out of bushes because the Nutcracker has a tall hat, or when you're running, you'll be easier to see. For example, if your character's wearing a bright red sweater, if you're not wearing the standard like dark fatigues. So landing spots, I'm putting blue markers on the map here. You can pull up the map with up on the D-pad. So I like the top left of the map and the low left sections of the map. Very few people go here. So these are largely tips for solo, but these are also good landing spots for duos, sometimes for squads, but you might have to loot several areas to get enough loot for your squad. So this first landing I'm showing is the bottom left side of the map, going to these two houses on the end. So if you're very new to Fortnite, when you start, you are on what's called the battle bus, and you hit A to jump off the bus, and then you want to angle toward where you're going. Now, if you have the map pulled up, again with up on the D-pad, you could place a marker by moving the left thumbstick and then clicking down the right trigger on where you want to place the marker. So the umbrella, if you are not sure what exactly happened there, again, if you're very new to the game, you just want to angle toward where you're going on the map and don't hit A because A will pull out your umbrella. But if you get closer to the ground, the game automatically pulls out the umbrella for you. So mostly you want to just angle the camera and move the left thumbstick in the direction that you want to go. Now, if you're newer to the game again and you're trying to get better at landings, maybe you will have to pull out the umbrella to reach farther distances, and that's fine. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Alright, so why am I showing you this landing first? These two houses, again, rarely people go here. There are ammo boxes often under the stairs here, which a lot of people do not know about. There's the basement, which is always a good thing. There's very often a treasure chest down there. Treasure chests have 4 items in them. It's usually a gun and ammo. It could be any kind of gun, sniper, rocket launcher, AR, SMG, pistol, and then either grenades or a shield item, and then some kind of health item. It's often bandages, but it can also be a med kit. So here's opening the treasure chest. So there, mini shield potions, I got materials, which is wood, and then I got an AR and ammo, so 4 different things. Now, if you're up in the attic of a house, there's often a second spot that's not the chest that might have a drop, and it could even be a med kit or an orange gun. So it's worth checking the attics of buildings, even if you do not hear the trademark tingle of a treasure chest being nearby. Okay, so here is a second example of a good landing spot for solos if you're getting new at the game and you want to be able to survive for a while. If you go to the very top left of the map, most often you will be by yourself. Now, this is what's called a stretch landing. You have to go often pretty far from the bus, so you do not want to look down because you'll go down very fast. You want to kind of just go straight across. Just hold forward and angle the camera so you're looking kind of up, and you'll go farther. So here we go. I'm going as long as possible, just floating. I'm always going to let the game pull out the umbrella for me. When I get closer to the ground, I want to maximize the distance. You go farther when you're going faster, of course. Alright, so there are 2 houses to my right which are pretty good to land at, but for solos I often go to this basement place first and then make my way down to the houses. That's because sometimes people will go to the houses, but very rarely people come up here first. So I always come here to grab a gun. So if someone lands at the 2 houses to my right before I do, I'd be able to fight them. Alright, so unfortunately I'm just finding a white pistol and a white shotgun for now, but there's also a treasure chest, which again, pretty often, pretty frequently spawns under the stairs. So I got a grenade and a white AR. So again, for newer players, if you're not that familiar with the game yet, there are different rarities of guns. It starts with white or gray, which is the weakest guns, also the most common. Then is blue, which is called rare. Oh, I'm sorry. Then green, and then blue, and then purple, and then orange are the rarest things. And they also do a little bit more damage. Okay, so I'm making my way from the basement house to the other good spot in the top left of the map here, these two houses. You could know if someone's been there, of course, because the doors will be open, or you might see broken walls or broken panels of the roof. So here I'm checking for the ammo, again, under the stairs. There's sometimes an ammo box there. Now I'm putting a trap. To put a trap, you pull up the build menu by hitting B, and then you hit X to equip the trap. Now, here is the standard way to get into the attic of a house. First, you want to break out the panel directly above you, and then pull out your build menu with B, scroll through the options with Y, and then you build the stairs and jump up onto your stairs. Now, a thing to keep in mind with this is when you're breaking out a panel for the attic and you know there's a chest up there, do not, if you hear the chest like directly above you, you'll know because the sound is louder. Do not break that panel, because if you break the panel that the chest is on, you will also destroy the chest. And of course, that is not going to be very helpful. Everything you were trying to get is now gone. Now, I'm keeping this clip going for this landing because this is another thing that a lot of players do not know about. There's very often a chest in this truck, and you'll of course hear it if you're right next to the truck. You'll hear the kind of jingle sound. And so you just want to build a ramp and come in. Here I get an AR. It's some pretty good stuff. Now, the other good aspect of this top landing is there is a treasure chest that can spawn in the north half of the woods. So again, I'm keeping this clip going because I want to show you all of the places you can go if you land here, not just one house. Where else are you going to go? Now, the other thing I want to touch on and why I'm keeping this clip going for so long, under the minimap in the top right is a purple icon. That is the storm indicator. When you first land, you have a minute before the storm forms, and then it's going to put a big white circle on the map. That's going to be the safe zone. So if you pull up the map with the D-pad, there's going to be the big white circle. You know that's the spot you have to go to. But you do not have to go there right away. There's that time next to the purple marker under the minimap. After the storm initially forms in that first minute, then you have 3 minutes before the storm starts to come in, and then the storm comes in for 3 minutes. So essentially you have 7 minutes at the start of the game before you even have to get into the safe zone. So that's the time that you want to use to loot. Okay, now I'm going to show you another landing and what you might do. Here I'm now in one of the skins, and there's a guy using the Nutcracker outfit. Pretty nice. Okay, so the battle bus, you will not be able to get off until it's over land. So here I'm holding the map up. It'll say press A to jump the second you're able to. So I do that here, and I want to show you a slightly different spot here on the low left part of the map. There's a named area called Greasy Grove. You'll see the lot of buildings slightly to the right of my character right now. That's not where we're going. Again, if you're newer to the game, or if you want to survive for a long time, do not go to any of the named areas on the map. Almost everyone goes there. So you want to go somewhere where you know you're going to be safe. You're going to be able to get all of the loot for you at the start of the game. Now, that's another little thing that you might do. As you pull out your umbrella, turn around and look up and around you. You'll know if other players are landing with you. There I saw that no one was landing with me, so I know that I'm safe. I could take my time. Here was just ammo on the top, some wood, white pistol, and then of course always check the basements in houses with the that have basements. Very often there's a chest there. So you want to pull out your tool by holding down Y. There's a med kit and a silenced SMG. Silenced SMG is one of the newer things added to the game. along with the boogie bomb and mini shield potions. Okay, now again, I'm keeping this clip going because I'm showing, oh gosh, where do I go now? I looted that one building, what do I do? So you can hug the coast for a while. Again, we have plenty of time before the storm comes in. So now the circle just formed on the map, as I explained in the previous clip, but we have over 3 minutes till it even starts to come in, and then 3 minutes as it's coming in. So we have more than enough time. So you might want to start gathering materials. If you see that no one is around you, you again could pull out your tool by holding down Y. And these big trees can give you up to 60 to 100 wood. Most often they're going to give you 50 to 60 wood. You need 10 wood to place any item, whether it's a floor or a wall or the ramp. They all use 10 wood. So I have 162 wood, so I'd be able to place 16 panels right now. Okay, so this is the second spot. I would suggest going from that landing that we did this time into this broken building. So there is an ammo box, there's a shotgun. Upstairs there's sometimes a chest, as we see right here. I'm going to put the ramp down. There's another shotgun. And nice, an AR, and there are mini shield potions. So some really good stuff there. Now, ordering can be very important. Everyone has their different preference order. You pull up your backpack by hitting the back button, and then you can hit A on an item and then move along the 5 item slots and hit A again where you want to have it. So when you hit Y for the first time, coming off of your tool, you're going to default to the first slot here, which is my white AR. You might notice in the bottom right. I often have my AR, or my main weapon, in that first slot, which is most often an AR. The second slot, I put like the shotgun or an SMG if I don't have a shotgun. And the third slot would be like a heavy weapon, a grenade launcher, a rocket launcher, or a sniper. And then the fourth and fifth slots are for grenades or healing items or shield items. That's just the setup I like, so I could go through all of my guns. I'm not like in the heat of a battle switching between a gun and like a health item. I just want all of my guns next to each other, so you could scroll through them with Y if you need to switch to, say, pull out a shotgun for close combat. Okay, now here is another landing at this building that we just went to. Here, though, we have a green shotgun. We have another green shotgun. So this is all RNG, of course. Shotgun ammo. And we go to the basement and we have a green shotgun and a green shotgun. That's crazy. So I wanted to show that. RNG is going to be different every single time you land. You can get purples, you can get oranges, or you could get a bunch of the same gun in its lowest rarity form, the white form. Now, I want to show you something completely different now for landings. Where I'm headed right now on the map is called Pleasant Park. You'll see in the top right, you can see the name on the mini-map. This is the most common area for people to land. So you see there are tons of people landing there. So it's very dangerous to land there unless you get a gun first and you know how to participate in combat effectively, where to aim, what to use, in what situation. You might not want to go there when you are starting out. So I wanted to show that, and then this is somewhere you could divert. This is a good strategy though in general. If you see that there are multiple people that are going to land before you do, they might be able to pick up guns and you would have nothing. So you might not want to land there. So by all means, turn to the side, go somewhere else. You don't even have to land at a building. Just land somewhere out in the open and run towards somewhere where you know there aren't people. So here I'm at the north side of Loot Lake. There's a building here, and then there's also a big guard tower. So there's a chest in this garage. End up with a green AR. There's an ammo box, which is pretty nice. But there actually turns out to be a couple other people here. So that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing someone running by me. He was actually looking for someone else though, so it was very fortunate for me. So there I was able to kill him with an AR, but I know he was looking for someone. So now I'm looking for that person because I know, again, there's a second person around this building, and there he is. And again, pretty fortunately, he has no items. You can use your tool as a weapon, but you only do 10 damage per hit, so you'd have to hit a person 10 times to kill them, so it's not really recommended. Alright, now, this is a little bit later in that game. I want to start showing you combat situations and what to do, when to engage, when not to engage. Here I noticed a guy running up the hill, but I'm pretty far. I don't want to start shooting at him right away, but here he stops moving, so I decide to start shooting at him. I miss a ton of shots. You're not trying to miss a ton of shots, but I was still able to take him out. Now, where do you aim? What do you do? With ARs, it's not the best to just hold down the trigger and spray. You want to kind of individually fire. So here is another situation. I'm kind of pacing my shots better, and I kill the guy much more quickly. This is, again, skipping to another little clip in another game. Sometimes you might want to guard the edge and watch people coming in from the storm. And here I have a scoped AR, a purple scoped AR. And there you really want to pace your shots. It doesn't fire nearly as fast, but the longer you wait, the more accurate your shots are. And if you're not moving, your shots are more accurate as well. Here is another unique situation. I know that a guy is building that building. I have a sniper rifle. So I'm not just going to start ARing at him. I don't know what he has. So I'm pulling out my sniper. I see that he stopped moving, so I take this shot. I hit him for 55 damage, so I know that he's fairly weak. If he tries to heal, I might be able to catch him off guard, so I decide to push this kill. It's not always a good idea to push a kill, but here I know that there's only 26 other people on the map, and that there was no one around me because of the situation in the game. Me and this guy had been near each other for a while. So I start building up a ramp, and he has to stop healing, so I only had to hit him one time to be able to kill him here. So that is a good situation to push someone. Alright, now another combat scenario. This is the very start of a game. I was just getting loot, but I heard a guy. He's out here, so I'm trying to shotgun him through the wall, let him know that I'm aware of him. He's not catching me off guard. But height advantage is very important because you are able to third person move the camera around with the right thumbstick and be able to see a lot of different angles. Here I know the guy's under me. He'd have to build up to me to effectively fight me, so I'm taking the time to use my shield potions to give me more health, and I'm waiting for him to have to make the move, come to me. Now I end up hearing him come up the ramp right next to me, and I'm able to turn and kill him with the SMG. He actually missed both of his shots too, which was nice. Now this is a little bit later in that same game. I'm heading toward Anarchy Acres. This is the large farmhouse. I of course see this guy up on the roof, but I couldn't tell at first if he was looking in my direction. Then I realize he's not. He's building. So I quickly pull out my build tools, make the ramp, come up to him, and I catch him off guard, and I'm able to shotgun him. So timing is the key to combat in this game. Know when to engage, know when to let people run by. If you're just trying to get a good placement, of course you could just hide for a long time. But try and put yourself in the advantageous situations by waiting to shoot at someone, giving yourself that time. Now, here I'm going to start getting into some other situations, things to look out for. Now, this is where I had killed that guy on top. There are still some things unlooted. You might want to check for ammo boxes or for things that people left behind. Now, I already have a couple kills in this game. I know that there's only 30 other people. So I'm looking around. I'm on the roof. Again, height advantage. You have so much more available to you. You can see so much more of the map. So I'm looking around, trying to see if anyone's coming toward me. Again, checking rooms, making sure that there was nothing left behind. Some people leave bandages behind because they already have other healing items, and you might be able to pick those up. Now, the dangerous thing about what I'm doing here is I'm going up and down, and there could be traps. And with the most recent update, there aren't different kinds of traps. They're only spike traps, and you're actually able to put them on the wall, the floor, or the ceiling. So they could really be anywhere, so you're trying to be careful. Okay, now here is another combat situation. I'm trying to get to this house. I notice a trap through the window. Luckily, I don't walk onto it. It will instantly kill you. So I'm destroying the trap. You could simply shoot them. That brought the guy down. I, of course, see him on the stairs. He's panicking and firing. So I come in. I shotgun him twice. I broke his shield there. I hit him for shield health twice. I know he's fairly weak. So I don't know what else he has. So instead of pushing, I'm trying to build a ramp up to the roof. But unfortunately, another guy was outside of the building to my left. So I decided to leave that situation for now. I'm going to the other building, hoping that those two guys start fighting each other. Now, I'm closing the doors of this building here. That's a good idea to do if you're even looting a building in general, because if someone comes in, you would hear them open the door. So you would have simply the audio clue to let you know that they're there. Now here I'm waiting on the stairs to see if they're going to open the door, if I hear shots. And the second I start to hear shots, I push out because I know they're looking at each other and I can take advantage of that situation. I could catch them off guard and kill the guy in this situation that was looting the other guy. So bam, bam, headshot, headshot. If you get yellow damage, it means you're getting a critical hit. If you get white damage, it means it's a standard hit. All right, here we go. I'm looting this guy. I'm keeping this clip going because there was another guy here that starts to shoot at me, and he actually almost kills me. Now, in combat, again, know when to fight, know when I was about to run onto that, but I realized it's another trap, so I have to run around the building. If you're using an AR, even a regular hit does 31 damage, so one more shot would have killed me here. So luckily, I'm able to get away. Here, I see the doors open. I notice there's a shotgun, but no ammo. Every time a gun naturally spawns in the game, there's going to be ammo with it. So that means someone had already been in here. And of course, the door was open. So I'm checking the floor and the roof before I go in to see if there are any traps. I see that there aren't, so I come in and I'm safely able to heal. Now, you might have to stop healing. If you hear someone running around the building, you can simply hit Y to change weapons and it will stop the process and you'll be able to fight back. Now, I'm skipping to later in this very same game. I'm in another situation where two other people are fighting and I take advantage of that. I put a couple shots in the one and are able to kill him. Now, I have no idea what exact weapons or what the health situation is of the other guy, so I do not want to push him in case he has rockets or he's waiting there with a shotgun. So I decide to go around the hill to the right and come up. I hear that he's underneath me because he just switched weapons. You can even hear that from other players. And I'm able to shotgun him. Alright, now this is just later in the same game. I am up top of that same tower and I hear the guy shooting up at me. So I drop down and he's still looking up and I'm able to shotgun him to win a game. So that worked out pretty darn well. Now, the thing with the storm, the circles get smaller and smaller as the game goes. So always be aware of where the white safe zone is and try and get there sooner rather than later. If you're trying to survive for a long time, of course you could just wait in bushes for a long time. But most often you just want to get into a house that's in the white circle and survive. Now, I'm going to start talking about building for a bit here. Of course, you build by pulling up your blueprints, which you do by hitting the B button. And the default thing that will start is a wall. You could hit Y to switch to a floor panel. You could even put floors on dirt to be able to put traps on them. And then you could hit Y to switch to a ramp, hit Y to switch to a roof piece. You really don't ever have to use the roof piece. Now, there are three types of materials. In the middle right of the screen, you'll notice the little emblems for wood, stone, and metal. Now, I'm showing you some common structures that you might build here. So here is a 2-panel by 1-panel building. You want to put a wall on each side, and then I put ramps up so you can move back and forth freely between them. You can go up and down, get different vantage points. You could then even build a floor. Make sure you don't floor yourself in. So I'm jumping onto the first floor I built and then making another floor, wall, wall, wall. So again, use 10 of the material each time. For a lot of the smaller trees that you might destroy with your tool, you get about 30 wood. The larger trees, you get about double that, usually around 60 wood. Metal you get from destroying cars or certain shelves or certain walls of structures. And then stone you get from destroying brick, of course, or there are some naturally occurring stone formations in the world that you could just start hitting with your tool to do that. Now here I'm making a 2x2 building, but kind of the same idea, putting ramps up everywhere on back to each other so I can go up and down. Now, here I ran out of wood, so You can switch between your materials, between the wood, stone, and metal by hitting left bumper. Now, I'm actually going to keep this clip going for a while because this is one of the best things to do in late game situations. You see, right under the minimap in the top right of the screen, there are only 14 other players. I'm safely in the white circle. I got up on top of a hill, so two good things here. I have height advantage, and I have a structure built. So people are going to have to destroy the structure, of course, before they're able to hit me. So I'm able to look down. I'm able to start shooting people. Even if I'm not hitting them, it'll often scare them and they'll run away or start building or randomly firing, and it'll make them waste their resources or make them start to make mistakes. So I'm looking back and forth, making sure that no one's coming up behind me. I built those walls because that's where I made my ramp. Instead of destroying the ramp, I kind of closed it off in case I had to use it coming down the mountain later. All right, so I notice, of course, this guy's building a tower to my left. You even get those notifications when the storm is going to start shrinking, that it's coming in and the circle is going to change. All right, so I'm looking around. I know that there were a lot of people running around those hills. So this is often what the late game becomes. People and structures have the advantage because they're higher up and they're able to look all around. If you're on the very edge of the circle in a bush, you're at the disadvantage because you're under people, you don't have cover. So most often people will be building these structures. So here's a guy coming out, trying to fight someone, so I noticed that. But I also don't have a ton of ammo. I have 84 bullets, so I'm trying to be somewhat economical in my use of bullets here. And I also only have a shotgun and an AR. I unfortunately do not have a sniper or scoped AR or rockets, so I can't do too much. But I noticed these guys having the fight, so I'm starting to put shots in them again, just trying to mess with them make mistakes. The more chaos you can cause, the better, because other people will start killing the other people, and now I'm already in a top 10 situation. Now they're starting to shoot at me, but the storm's also coming in. It's not going to affect their tower, but there might be people coming out of the storm that will start to get into that fight. So again, I'm always constantly checking. Do not get tunnel visioned. Do not just focus on one guy so much that you lose track of the situation. You might forget that you're not even in the circle. You might not think, oh, there's someone building up into my structure behind me. So make sure you're keeping all of that in mind. Now here, I'm just building it up a little bit more, making it harder for people to be able to get to me. But I know I have very few materials, so I'm using my last 10 to make a ramp here so I could still look down on these people. And again, you switch between materials while you have the blueprint up by hitting the left bumper. I'm trying to see if I could hit the tree, but I couldn't. So I come out to get this wood to be able to make a wall here. I just want to make sure I'm safe on all sides. I don't want people to be able to lob grenades in. There we go. All right, so still, I know this is a long clip, but this is, again, most often what you want to do late game. Get on the high ground and, if possible, build. So now I notice, again, a fight underneath me, and I could take advantage of this situation. I hit that guy several times. I'm able to take him out. Now I know there's only 6 other people, and at least 2 of them are by that tower. I'm aware of that. I've also heard gunshots over to my right. I know that there are people over there. So you have so much information if you're, again, on the high ground and you're able to use the sound of the game effectively. Because, like gunshots, if you're wearing headphones, you'll be able, oh, that is behind me, or that's to my right, that's to my left, that's above me, that's underneath me. The sound cues are very, very useful, so take advantage of that. So I noticed, of course, this guy running in from the left, but I only have 43 shots. I don't want to really waste my ammo. It's very hard to consistently hit people from this range on console. All right, but here I'm putting shots in this guy. I do hit him once, so I know he's weak. I know he's freaking out. But I have less than 1 clip now, so I don't want to use too much of this unless I know I could take someone out. The good news is I have both full shield and full health. And I have a med kit and additional shield. I also have a trap I could put down if needed. But I am out of materials, so I cannot build anything else. So I have to be kind of careful if the circle is going to move away from this hill. So you might notice the purple is also coming in, so I'm trying to, again, make sure no one's coming up behind me, sneaking in. I'm still aware of this battle going on. I see the guy on top of the brick ramp that he's building. Now, another little thing right here, you might have noticed the top part was kind of see-through of the wall. That means it's taken damage. You can actually repair the damage if you have a couple more of that material. You specifically need wood or stone or whatever you made the wall out of, but you click down the right thumbstick and it only costs like 1 to 3 material to be able to repair, depending on how much damage that has taken. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be in the next circle, so I decide to move early. Why do I move early? That often is not a good idea, but in this situation, I know that there are people already fighting at that tower, and I don't want to come out of the storm late. Each successive storm that starts to come in the game will do more damage. It starts doing 1, then it will do 2, and at these late game ones, it does 5. When the storm is set and you're out in the purple, you'll take 5 damage per second. Now here I see this guy building. Again, I know I have very little ammo, but I'm trying to take advantage of the situation, maybe be able to get a couple headshots to kill him. I was checking to see if these other guys... Whoa, that was very fortunate that that trap didn't kill me. I was freaking out about that. So I'm very close to the circle. I know that there's only 3 other people. I know that one just picked up a package there. One had been over to my right that was involved in another battle. Alright, so I'm avoiding this guy's trap. I'm trying to be as safe as I can, see if there's any additional ammo. So I'm searching around. Now, I actually end up getting second in this game, even though I probably should have won this. So I wanted to explain this whole situation and what was happening. Now, I'm out of AR ammo, so I'm going to need to be pretty close to shotgun this guy. So I'm putting the tree between me and him to make it harder for him to see me. Now, he's destroyed the trees, so I'm going to make it, again, very hard for him to be able to see me, get right up against the tower. He's going to have to come down or build out, make it awkward for him. I'm picking up grenades to potentially just blow up the tower, but now I realize he's coming down, so I have to switch back to shotgun. There I hit him once, hit him twice, and I was able to take him out. Now I have a lot of good ammo. He had a sniper, he had a grenade launcher, he had all kinds of things I might be able to use here. But I'm out in the open. I just saw someone at the gas station, so I'm aware of all of these things. I'm not just going to run into the gas station. I'm fairly low health, but I have healing items, so I build brick walls around me. Why brick? A, I had more brick at this time, and B, they take more shots to be able to destroy them because it's a stronger material. So I build this around myself to be able to heal. Now, slurp juice. The way it works is it gives you 25 shield at any point, and it could also give you 25 health. But you see, my character was shaking his head. I can't use it until the 25 has been added. So not until I'm at the 75 shield will it let me use the slurp juice. So I'm kind of waiting for that before I engage this guy. I hear him crouch walking underneath me, so I know that he's still in the gas station. But I know that there are 2 people, and a gunshot just whizzed by me, so the other guy is somewhere over by the tower. But you see, I'm still safely in the circle. That guy's going to have to come to me. So I decide to take the initiative and find this guy in the gas station. He might be behind the counter, but I don't see him, so he's over on the side. He missed his shots, and I was able to take him out with a shotgun shot. Now, I just got a lot of traps from that guy. I have 9 traps, I noticed. So I start putting traps everywhere. Don't make them too obvious. Don't just put them on the floor. So I put them on the ceiling. I put them on walls. So if this guy tries to sneak up on me, I'm hoping my traps would be able to get him. And here's what I talked about earlier. When you're building, that's the other thing to keep in mind. Your traps can't hurt you, so you're fine. Don't worry about that. So I put a panel on the ground, put a trap there. I hear the guy is actually right here with me. I just saw him moving, so I'm getting ready for him. I have my shotgun out. You don't want to use an AR at close range if you don't have to. Now he hits me a couple times, shotgun, shotgun. Darn it, he was so weak. If I didn't choke the first shot, I would have won there. But that was a pretty good situation. I again wanted to explain what you might want to do toward the end of the game. So get the high ground, build a structure if you have the materials. And now here is another situation. I'm building another base. This is actually a pretty funny thing. I'm building a 2-floor base here. And you see I have a lot of brick and wood. So now I'm starting to turn to brick because it's going to be a little bit more strong. Now, notice the situation again. In the top right of the screen, under the mini-map, there are only 14 other players. The storm is going to be coming in fairly soon. So I know I'm already safely in the zone, so I want to make sure I'm protected. I don't just want to wait and have people running out of the storm kill me. But the second I poke my head up, I'm sniped. So that's the danger. When you have, of course, your blueprints pulled out, you're liable to be hit by anyone from anywhere. They could see that you have your blueprints out and that you're an easy target. You can't shoot back because you don't have it out. All right, now, this is what I'm going to show as kind of the end of this video, a full gameplay, what you might do throughout with decision making, how to put this all together. Now, Moisty Mire is a named area in the bottom right of the map, but very few people go here, even in duos or squads. So I'm going here to show you a different kind of landing and the best spot to land. Now, Moisty Mire itself is a lot of shallow water, and you move more slowly in water. So I'm coming to this building that has a basement here in the very low right of the map, past Moisty Mire. This very often has a treasure chest in the basement. It very often has at least 1 or 2 guns, so it's a good place to start. And then you could push into the mire, or you could even wait for that first minute to pass and then see where the first circle is going to be, if you have to move a lot or move very little. So I got 2 shotguns and a pistol here, not too exciting, but here was a white AR in the basement, so now I have a pretty good variety. Now I have a green AR. I really do not like the smoke bombs. That was another thing added with an update, so I'm going to drop those. And again, the order of my weapons is important. I have the AR first and a shotgun second, but I actually prefer tactical shotguns to the pump shotgun. I know a lot of people prefer the pump. Pump shotguns shoot more slowly, but they will also do more damage. If you get a headshot with a pump shotgun, you'll almost always kill the person. Even if they have, I think, 50 shield, you can kill them. Okay, so Moisty Mire. I think there's 4 or 5 of the islands that can have a treasure chest up against a tree, and this is one of them. So I get pretty lucky. There's one there. There's more AR ammo. I have no need to pick up the other AR. There's more smoke grenades or shotgun or something. I don't need that. And I also heard that there was a battle over here, and I see that guy to the left just past this bush. He's trying to loot, so I know I have the advantage. He's not looking at me. Now, that's another thing to keep in mind. Another thing I also wanted to point out. Just because someone's hiding behind a tree or behind rocks or in a building, that doesn't mean they're immune. You could shoot anything. You could destroy the rocks. You can destroy the tree. You could destroy the wall of a building. So you could just keep shooting that if you have enough ammo. So here he was just behind tree stumps, which will only take a couple bullets to be able to take down. Not too bad at all. So now I'm shielding up, but I'm also looking around with the right thumbstick to make sure no one else is around me. Now I'm heading to this island up here that has this little hill because I know that there could be 2 treasure chests that spawn here, one on either side of the tree. But I see that the treasure chest has already been opened. You'll know it's been opened, of course, because you could visually see it, but also it will no longer be glowing, so you could kind of notice it from a distance. Okay, so you might notice on the minimap, it draws a white line for the quickest direction to get to the circle. So I have to go a decent amount to be able to get safe, but again, you have plenty of time at the start of a game. You have the 1 minute before the storm forms, 3 minutes for it to start to come in, and then the first storm takes 3 minutes to come in. All of the additional storms in the game only take 90 seconds to come in, a minute and a half. So be aware of that. Just this first one takes 3 minutes. Now, you can go to the left there, but you would also go right near the prison, which is a very popular landing spot. So I decided to be a little bit more safe and go to the right here toward this broken building. Again, I'm constantly moving the right thumbstick around, making sure that no one is running around. In solos, it's very important to know where other people are, what the situation is. So find some brick. Even if you know you don't want a gun, it's always a good idea to run into that area so you can pick up the ammo. Ammo doesn't take up any of your inventory slots. You can hold up to 999 of all of the standard ammos, mini bullets, AR bullets. Alright, so again, I'm looking toward the prison, making sure no one's running out, so I'm not going to be shot as I'm running. The reverse of the situations I've been showing, where I see people running in front of me and take advantage of that. Here I get pretty fortunate, get more grenades, more AR ammo. Now, running across this bridge can be dangerous, but it actually has a good amount of cover, so I decided to just go across the bridge. It's a very short, easy way to get toward the safe zone. So this area has a little building here, but it unfortunately was empty, so there's nothing there. So just keep going. Now, there's going to be some houses I'm approaching right here. And these are very common spots for people to be. So I'm already making sure I have my materials ready. So I pull up my build menu as I'm running. And because I had 0 wood, it defaults to wood when you pull out your build menu. So I hit left bumper twice to switch to metal. So I know that I'd be able to quickly build walls if I need to. So I first get in the shack, pick up the ammo. I'm looking out the windows to see if anyone heard me and is looking toward me. They weren't, or at least I couldn't see them, so I decided to push up to the house. Now, of course, I noticed that people have already destroyed a roof panel in each of these buildings, so they've already been here. So that means a couple things. One, they likely are no longer there, but 2, they might also have put traps in, so I'm making sure that that is taken care of. And then there might not be any loot there, so I decided to just get in here and wait for a while. Now, there are a lot of different things you could do to disguise where you are. You can close the doors, make it look like no one has been there, but that would be pretty obvious if someone opens the door and they see nothing's inside. They might think, wait, this is strange. So you might want to come into a bathroom like you're playing PUBG. A lot of people do this. Leave the door open, but get behind the door. So if someone comes in to check, you can shotgun them once or take advantage of that situation, get a couple shots in before they even know that you're there. So that's why I leave the door open. Make it look like it's already been looted, make it unattractive. They might just be in and out, not checking the corners. Now, I don't want to wait here forever because A, that's boring to me, and B, I'm right on the edge of the circle. But that's also why I am waiting here. I am on the edge of the circle, so I know that people might be running into the circle right near me. So that's why I decide to wait here and see where the next safe zone is going to be before I make my move. So you see the countdown, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And there it goes. It's fairly close to me. And I see that it's a lot of open area, only a couple name spots in it, a lot of open hills. So it's going to be fairly dangerous moving. Making sure that no one is crouch walking near me. Again, these people probably just came out of the purple. They might be trying to heal. So I'm looking to make sure if I could take advantage of any situation or if they're trying to spot me. But I don't see anyone, so I start moving. Now, this is a thing that I often do. I run through bushes. So many people are waiting in bushes. And I'm actually, I think, going to get a kill like that later in this game. Run into a bush and I run directly into a guy and he starts shooting me, but I was able to kill him. People that hide in bushes often aren't the most skilled players. That's why they are there. They're just trying to hide and get a good placement from not having to play that well. All right, so this isn't the best place to be. I call this the industrial park. I see that a panel had already been broken on an upper floor. I see that these doors have already been opened, so there might be someone inside here, especially because, again, it's right on the edge of the circle. So I'm checking all of the corners, checking for traps. You don't just want to blindly run around buildings. I'm closing all of the doors. Now, I could have left this open, but I don't want that. I might be waiting on these stairs, and I don't want to be sniped at. So I decided to put up a wall there. I'm going to make a ramp so I can get up toward the roof. Put up another wall, so I'm pretty protected. And again, I'm right on the edge of the circle. I know I'm going to be in the zone a little bit. People are going to have to come to me if they were outside to the east. And now I have a pretty good vantage point. I could be looking around. I could crouch down. I could get inside the building if I'm being shot at. So again, height advantage. Get in structures if you can. Always good ideas to be able to make it to the late game and to have the one up on someone. So I had talked about audio cues a bit earlier to be able to hear people running and where shots are coming from. It's the same thing with building. You can see if something's being built, you'll see the materials flying in. You'll hear the kind of little ding it makes when it finishes a part. So you'll know that someone had just built and all of those things. And speaking of visual cues now, when you're running around and you notice that people have built a structure, take pause because they might still be in there. So you might not want to run directly to that area anymore. If you see someone has built like a 2-floor wood or metal structure, you might want to go around to the side or at least start crouch walking so you're not just running into a dangerous situation. All right, so I'm still taking my time here. There's a minute for it to still be coming in. So I'm making sure no one is building up to me. I'm making sure no one is crouch walking underneath me. Just, again, always be aware of your surroundings. You want to constantly be moving the right thumbstick. Look to your sides, look behind you, look underneath you. It'll never be in our understanding of all of the places that people could hide in this game. So you always want to be checking different locations. Didn't stick the landing. If you see that in the kill feed, it means someone has fallen to their death. Most often it's because they were building a very tall ramp and someone shot the ramp and they fell. You actually don't get the kills for that because you often destroy the structure and you haven't hit the person. Alright, so the storm came very much up to my building, even in it a little bit. I see I'm going to have to go a decent distance. Now, another thing to keep in mind and why I'm showing this full gameplay to end this video, you very, very rarely want to run directly at the safe zone because that could be a bad area. You might have to go right through a town. You might have to be out in the open and you could be shot from all kinds of sides. So a good idea is to hug the very edge of the zone, like follow the purple all the way around. But you might also want to move sooner rather than later because the longer you wait, the more likely you are to run into other people trying to get into the zone at the last second. And that's also dangerous. You could be shot from any of the sides. So here I decide to finally leave the building. I've checked all of the corners, checking all around the building, just being totally safe, running through this bush. And I'm going to start to follow the zone south and be as safe as I can. Now, I've also won several solo games, but this is not one of those. I also finished second in this one, just like the other thing I showed. But I don't just want to, oh, I'm really good at the game, here are some wins. Anyone could edit a video like that. I want to show you situations that you might find yourself in and not just explain what to do, but what not to do. So I want to show you my thinking and what happened here at the end of this game. Now, I only have one kill here. There are 12 people total left. That includes me, so I know there are 11 other people. Here I'm being shot in the back. So a good thing to do is at least just put a wall down, make sure the person can't constantly shoot you. Now I put that wall down and start crouch walking, and the person thought I was still around the wall, so I know I have the advantage. I got actually 2 headshots there and was able to take him out, but there's actually someone else shooting me. So I put another wall down, see where he is. He's behind this tree. I know I have some grenades. Let me blow up that tree real quick, not give him any cover. And I'm going to see he's moving to the right. So now I do not have a clear line of sight, so I decide to build a ramp here, get the height advantage, get up top and be able to see him over it. But I forgot, this is the danger situation. If you're rotating and you're hugging the edge of the zone, you get in a battle, you might forget that the purple's about to come in, the storm's about to come in, you might die to the storm. So instead of heading directly at the storm, I'm still trying to follow it. I'm kind of running to the side so this guy isn't going to come out right next to me. I'm trying to make it harder for him to be able to come out. Now I just was lost in the storm, so that might have been that guy. Someone just died falling to their death. So if you're safe, if you just stay in buildings, you have the height advantage, you stay in bushes or corners for a while, you're going to place very highly because so many people are trying to do the same thing and a lot of them might not be that good at it. Now here I'm aware of this airdrop. I see a guy running toward it. I think that might be the guy coming out of the storm. I'm trying to close the gap because I only have an AR. I have not much ammo, so I'm putting shots in him. He was actually killed by someone else though. So I'm like, uh-oh, where is that guy? I'm also not quite in the zone yet, so I decide I have to keep moving. I'm not going to head toward that shot. I'm going to go around this hill to the left. I'm looking for the guy to see if he's looking at me. Now, unfortunately, all of those people died. They had good loot, but I just can't go back out into the storm and get that loot. It's too dangerous, too risky. All right, so here's that situation I was talking about with the guy in the bush. I run past that bush, but a guy's in this bush right in front of me, and I don't even know it. So I'm getting prepared to see if someone's going to be coming toward that airdrop. This guy makes me so weak and then misses all of his other shots. He's very bad. So I was able to take him out. He actually had a gold scar, which is one of the rarest and best weapons in the game. It's very accurate. It does very good damage at range. It's very reliable. He also had a jump pad, which is a lot of streamers' favorite things. You could embarrass a lot of people by using a jump pad. A lot of people don't realize you could go over them and you could end up behind them. So here I'm healing up as best I can, and I'm seeing this guy in a battle in front of me, so I'm trying to take advantage of this situation, kill him. Just putting shots down there. Again, I'm just trying to make it chaos for him. I know he's being shot from another direction as well. Alright, so we see that there are only 4 other people left in this match. I don't know, again, exactly where the other person that was shooting at this guy is. I assume up on a hill somewhere. So I drop down, I heal up. You can only heal up to 75 with bandages, so I'm just making sure I have that extra 6 health. Sometimes it makes all of the difference. Now, that guy just died. I know that that was the guy that I was just shooting at, and I see that there are some items down here. So there's a med kit. There are rockets, which is amazing. So I'm trying to pick up all this stuff. There's a shield potion. I can get to like full health here. But I also know the purple's starting to come in. So there's only a minute because this is very late in the game. It's gone down from 90 seconds to just a minute. But I'm on the side where it's going to take a while for it to come in. So I do have a decent amount of time. I decide not to use the medkit quite yet though. I want to get in the safe zone first. I assume that this guy's in the giant metal structure in front of me, so I decide to start putting up walls. Start to build one of the bases I was describing earlier, 2x1, and then put ramps up. You see I have a lot of materials. I, of course, didn't generate all of these materials in this game. You often find a lot of materials on the people you kill, so that's how you'll get a lot of stuff by the end game. I also notice there's that structure next to me, but that guy sniped me. I lost most of my shield and health, so I'm just trying to break his structure and freak him out. So I'm firing a lot of rockets up there. He's even shooting the tree I'm behind to not give me any cover. So I'm just trying to absolutely blow up his base with rockets. I know it's more than likely not going to kill him, but I want him to lose his advantage of the base. So I'm just randomly firing. Now, you can take down any structure. You don't have to necessarily shoot the top of it. If there's like a 1x1 tower, if you blow up the bottom floor, it destroys the rest of it. It's going to fall. So keep that in mind. If there's like someone building a ramp, you don't have to shoot up where they are. You could shoot like the low part of the ramp and it'll destroy the rest of it. It's pretty awesome. So here he's very much losing his advantage. But there's also 2 other people in the game, right? So there's 4 people left. And I'm kind of tunnel visioning on this guy. Just make up a word there. And that probably loses me the game. When this guy ends up killing me, there was actually a guy right next to me, crouched like right behind me in a bush or something. It's so bad. So here I'm trying to stay alive as best I can. The zone just moved. I'm trying to get up to the zone, put walls down. And I kind of freaked out too much. I thought I was safe here. So I start putting all of these things up, and when I get up to the top, he apparently perfectly hits a headshot, which instantly kills me, which was very bad. But I hope you enjoyed this tips video. I tried to give you a quick overview of all of the big things to me to succeed in Fortnite. Thank you very much if you watched it, and I should be back with more videos soon.